probably no surprise that the CPA covers personal information, and we'll delve into that with Joe a little bit later. But let me tell you about the entities that are covered by the CCPA. And there are 3 of them. Just 3 of them, it sounds, but when you get into the nuances, it's much deeper than that. Those are 1, businesses, 2, service providers, and not third parties, and 3, third parties. It doesn't apply to not-for-profit businesses and service providers, and businesses may also include corporate affiliates. I'll talk about that shortly. First, businesses. Businesses are defined under the statute as a legal entity that is organized for the financial benefit of its owners or for profit and, pay attention to this, collects consumer personal information or determines the purposes and means of processing consumer personal information and does business in California and meets one of the following criteria. That criteria is annual gross revenues of more than 25 million, or buys, receives, sells, or shares the personal information of 50,000 or more consumers, households, or devices, or derives 50% or more of its annual revenues from selling consumer personal information. I mentioned the word corporate affiliate just a second ago, and the reason I brought that up is because businesses may also include corporate affiliates. So you have to keep in mind the criteria that is listed on this slide, as well as what I just mentioned, to determine what is covered by the word business. Businesses may include corporate affiliates where the business is controlled by or controls an affiliate, and the second part is the business shares common branding with the affiliate. There is no small business exception under the CCPA. So that was the first entity that's covered by the CCPA. The next 2, here's a little bit more information for your viewing pleasure, that I want to talk about is the definition of household. Households are included in the threshold for a covered business, and they also fall within the definition of personal information under the CCPA. Under the CCPA, if a business alone or in combination annually buys, receives, sells, or shares the personal information of 50,000 or more consumers, then you need to think about the household. Okay, now we're going to talk about the second and third entities that are covered by the CCPA, service providers and third parties. As for service providers, those are defined as for-profit, pay attention to the word for-profit, legal entities that process consumer personal information on behalf of a business pursuant to a contract. Typically, the contract articulates any prohibition of what the service provider can and cannot do when processing information for the business. Next is third parties that are covered by the CCPA. Third parties are a legal or natural person that is neither a business nor a service provider, but is involved in the exchange of personal information. So like I said at the beginning of this, while it's just, you would think 3 simple entities that are covered, when you look at these definitions, it really runs the gamut of the type of companies and individuals that may be affected by the CCPA.